Yellowjackets getting ready to open their official 2015-16 season this week on the road with a couple of tough games in California. Jace, talk about some of the younger players on the team this season and how they've had roles on the team in the early exhibition games this year.
Yeah, we have a bunch of new and young guys this year, and they've had to step up pretty early in the season so far, and a couple of them have had starting roles already in our first game, and it's been a lot different than high school for them, and it's taken them a little bit to get used to it, but now they're really starting to grow up and they're getting the hang of things, and I expect some big things from them the rest of the year.
And being a junior on this team, you're certainly going to be a leadership figure for some of the younger players. What are some of your goals leadership-wise, and how you're going to help these players understand what it takes to compete at this level?
Well, last year was a pretty rough season, and this year I definitely don't want to replay that. So, I mean, my number one goal is to make the GNAC tournament this year, and I'm just going to push everybody in practice every day, and we got to get better every day in practice, and I'm just going to keep pushing everyone in practice and try to be the best team we can be by the end of the year.
And then you start off against a couple of tough West Region opponents, Chico State and Cal State East Bay, coming up this weekend on the road. How's that experience playing two teams like that going to help the team this season?
It'll be really good to play a couple very tough, talented teams at the beginning of the year, kind of give us a measuring stick on where we're at and where we need to be by the end of the year. And I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Yellowjackets getting set to hit the road and open the 2015-16 season this weekend. Emmanuel, you had a busy off season. Talk about some of the things you worked on, some parts of your game that you really tried to focus on over the summer.
I pretty much just worked on a lot of ball handling, getting more consistent with my shot, and then just playing free, just trying to sort of flowing into my game, feeling more comfortable with it.
And the team has a lot more size this season than they did last year. Coaches commented on how that's going to sort of help you adapt into a new role. What are some things you're excited about having some other big guys allow you to play some different positions?
Obviously, having the big guys makes a big difference, because last year I was playing a position I was capable of playing, but it wasn't my natural position. It just helps us rebound a lot better, so us compete inside a lot more, which we didn't have as much last year.
And talk about some of those new guys that are going to play a lot of big minutes for you this season and how they're fitting into the team.
The new guys we have, we have three young guys actually, two now, the one that got hurt. But Cade and Preston, those guys, they really actually compete on the inside. And then two guys we don't have currently right now that haven't played for us, Manny and Kamal. Those guys, Kamal, he just has a high motor. He goes after, plays hard every possession, and Manny, he just helps us a lot on the defensive end.
And then this week you have two tough games against West Region opponents. You have Chico State and Cal State East Bay to open up your regular season. What are you excited about facing those opponents on the road in California?
Just excited for another opportunity to compete. We still have a bitter taste in our mouth from the last game we played in, so just looking forward to these next few games.
Well, first and foremost, we're excited about the opportunity to finally get to play and play games that count and matter, and I think it's going to be a nice measuring stick. Obviously, we're going to be rolling some freshmen out there this weekend, and they're going to get their first taste of college basketball. So it's going to be quite a measuring stick. We're throwing those freshmen kind of into the deep end of the pool this weekend, especially the first game out with Chico State, who's I think they're picked first in their league. Has been in multiple NCAA tournaments and returns a lot of guys. So it's gonna be a challenge. But first and foremost, we're excited about the opportunity and looking forward to see what we have and what we need to work on.
As you mentioned, these will be the first counting games on your schedule this season, but you've had a couple scrimmages, exhibition games, things like that to see where your team's at. Talk about how some of these younger freshmen who are going to be called upon this weekend have started to gel into the team and excelled on the court in the exhibition games.
Well, I think any freshman, probably in every college program, the main thing is getting them to understand the level of effort that you need to bring every day in practice. The level of intensity of the college game, the importance of every single possession. And I think that's usually the number one adjustment. We're fortunate that I really like our freshmen. I think our freshmen are talented enough to play at this level, and I think they're all going to be really, really good college basketball players. But they are freshmen, and it'll be interesting to see how they react to playing what I consider to be their first real college basketball games.
This is a little bit tougher of a preseason schedule than you've had in years past, and you do have a couple of returners with experience, but they've never really played a preseason schedule like this. Talk about how their experience is going to be key in these early season games.
Well, our schedule was tough last year, but probably not as tough as the schedule this year. We play 10 games before Christmas. 8 of those 10 are on the road. 4 of the 10 are against NCAA tournament teams from last year. It just worked out that we have, sometimes that's the way it works out with your scheduling. Next year we'll have more home games, but this year we're going to start on the road. It's going to be nice having the returners. Kendall, Jace, Mark, Jordan, and EJ all played a ton of minutes last year. We're going to lean on those guys a lot, especially early in the season until some of our younger guys get used to the level of play, but we're going to need big performances from those 5 returners, and I think they know that. We've talked to them about that, and we expect good things from those 5.